Here's a quick tip that you can use when you want to crop an image. First thing you want to do is select the crop tool. Then up here you'll see several options in the toolbar. You've got no restriction where it's just a free-form kind of crop. You can just drag wherever you want to go and rotate and whatever. You can use the same ratio as the photo and it will find the width and the height, and as you can see, it doesn't matter which direction I drag, it's going to keep that same ratio. You still have the rotate option. Or you can input one of the preset sizes, 3x5, 4x6, 8x10. And the other thing you can do is make it a specific size that you might want. Maybe I want this to be a 3.5 inch by a 5 inch image. I'm using IN for inches. You could also use PX for pixels if you have a definite pixel size that you want. The resolution you can adjust. 150 is usually pretty good for printing. And then when I drag this, it will crop to the size that I want at the resolution that I want. And you can check it by choosing the image size. It's 3.5 inches by 5 inches at a 150 resolution. One of the most frequently requested techniques to learn is how to make an image black and white but allow a splash of color to show through. It's a very simple technique to do. First thing you need is a color image. Next thing you're going to do in your layers palette, click your adjustment layers and choose hue saturation. This dialog will pop open. You're just going to drag the saturation slider all the way to the left. You can see it completely desaturates the image. Click OK. The adjustment layer creates its own mask right here. Now if you paint in white on the mask, let me flip my black and white here, paint in white on the mask, nothing happens because white hides everything that's underneath it. However, if you flip the black and the white so black is your foreground and start painting, it will allow the color underneath to show through. I'm going to Control Z that. Now let's say I just want this boat back to its original kind of reddish rusty color. So I'm just going to, with black as my foreground, just paint right on over that boat. And doing it very quickly just for this video, but you can take a little more time and make it really crisp. But that's really the entire technique right there. You can see the mask with the black that you painted on it is revealing the color underneath. Here's a few tricks you can use when you're working with layer masks. You can see in my layers palette I've already created a few layers and I've already created the layer masks for them. This layer here is nothing more than a duplicate of the background layer, but I've added a mask painted with black in the top so that it hides the sky, and it's only showing this dark blue that is directly beneath it. The only problem with that is if we zoom right in, you can see there's a slight halo where I didn't quite paint close enough. It's very easy to fix, but there's a few little drawbacks. Let me show you the first one. It would be great if I could just transform this mask and pull it down a pixel or two. So if I press Control-T to bring up the transform tool and drag this bottom handle down a bit, you can see that it's also transforming the image layer as well as the mask. That's not at all what I want. So cancel that. This link button here connects the layer with the mask. If I turn it off, the two work independently. So now with my mask selected, if I press Control-T and zoom in just a little bit, I can grab this center handle and pull it down just a little bit so that it's the line. It's not perfect, I'm just doing it really quick for this video. But that's essentially the technique, just by unlinking the two layers. The layer from its layer mask. Going up here to the clouds layer, I can do pretty much the exact same type of thing. These clouds I put in don't look very realistic. They need to have a little bit of perspective to them. So if I choose Transform and Perspective, zoom way out, not good because it's linked with its mask. Let's cancel that, unlink the two. Now press Control T with the layer selected. Get back in here to Perspective Transform, and I can pull these out and really make it look like realistic clouds fading away into the distance. That looks pretty good. We'll accept that. To go a little bit further, let's add a little color to this. Maybe a dark steel blue to match that water. Control G links this layer with the layer directly underneath it, and then if I change its blend mode to color, let's pull that opacity down just a bit. It looks like more of a wintry day than the original pretty blue sky spring day that we started with.